For 10 days, Alesha Babenko was locked in a basement and regularly beaten by Russian soldiers, bound, blindfolded, and threatened with electric shocks. The 27-year-old pleaded for them to stop.
They blindfolded me and brought to some place. I don't know where that was because I couldn't see anything. Then they brought me to Kherson and put me in a basement. Then they were asking me, why were we taking pictures? You have to tell the truth. If you're not telling the truth, then they beat you harder and harder. Sometimes they gave us electric shocks in different ways. Sometimes they threatened us with guns. They even said they would force us to go on a minefield towards the Ukrainian positions.
In September, Babenko and his 14-year-old nephew, Vitaliy Mysharskiy, were arrested by Russian soldiers who occupied his village of Kyselivka in Ukraine's southern region of Kherson.
We were walking around and taking pictures of the military vehicles that were hit by the Ukrainians and sending them by phones to the Ukrainian military. Then the Russians spotted us and checked the phones. Then we were tied up and brought to Kherson. There were 12 of us sitting there. Some of us were there for a month. Others were there for weeks.
They had been taking photos of destroyed tanks and sending them to the Ukrainian army. Seated this week on a bench outside his home, Babenko was visibly shaken as he recounted the trauma of being thrown into a car, driven into the city of Kherson, and interrogated until he confessed. As violence escalates in Ukraine, abuses by Russian soldiers have become widespread, according to the United Nations. The situation is particularly concerning in Kherson region, where hundreds of villages, including the main city, were liberated from Russian occupation in early November. It was one of Ukraine's biggest success in the nearly 9-month-old war, dealing another stinging blow to the Kremlin. The United Nations says it is attempting to verify allegations of nearly 90 cases of enforced disappearance and arbitrary detentions in Kherson, and is trying to understand if the scale of abuse is larger than already documented. Ukrainian officials have opened more than 430 war crime cases in Kherson region and are investigating 4 alleged torture sites. Denis Monetryski, Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs, told the state television.